Today I'm going to be cleaning my M&P 1522. I recently picked this up and it does need a pretty good scrub. So I have checked it to make sure it's unloaded, and it is. I can see that it's unloaded. And if you like this video, please subscribe. It really does help. Anyway, let me get set up on my cleaning bench and we'll get started. Okay, to get started we just need to break it apart just like we would a regular AR-15. Just push your pins in, separate your upper and lower, and those will come apart. Not sure how well you can see how much cleaning needs to be done in there, but quite a bit. This is molded into the lower. You can't put an AR-15 upper on this, and vice versa. Same with the upper receiver. This upper receiver is all plastic or polymer. Same with the lower. And then just pull out your bolt and carrier. This is what it looks like. This one's pretty dirty, so we'll get that all cleaned up. And then this is how your barrel comes out, and it is a dedicated 22, so it does have the extractor built in on here. So we're just going to get it all cleaned up. So for my cleaning kit, I'm just using a regular AR-15 kit. I won't need to use that. You can use this. I will probably use a jag instead, and I have some jags here. I may use this, we'll see. And I recently picked up these wipes with CLP on them. I'm going to give these a try. I've got a can of CLP here. I've also, in case I need it, I have some foaming bore cleaner. I use this on all my muzzle loading stuff. Okay, so I think for the moment I'll just start wiping stuff down with these wipes. And we'll see how they work. They definitely smell like CLP. So there's a good before. I've never taken one of these apart, and I think I may. But for right now, let's just wipe some stuff down and then we'll get to that. I think I'll spray some CLP inside there. Yeah. And we'll let it soak. Set that aside. I think I'm going to go ahead and take off my scope. Just to make things a little easier. Spray some of that on there. Okay, I'm going to use this jag. The thread pattern on this doesn't match this, and I don't have another 22 caliber rod that'll fit that. So we're just gonna push that all the way through. See how dirty that is. And you can use this. It's a little more difficult to thread. Okay, I'm going to call that good. Okay, so I've got some Q-tips here. I'm just going to start scrubbing on this. Okay, now we'll set that aside. And we're going to start on this. Okay, now on to the bolt. So I did a little bit of reading up on it. So I'm pretty confident I can get this taken apart completely. So I've got some new cotton buds or Q-tips, just a roll of black tape. I've got a set of roll punches. If you're not familiar with a roll punch, it's got a little spike on the end of it, and a little hammer. I made this hammer on a lathe. This is just an old screwdriver handle and an old shell that I put in there. So first we need to get this off, and I have a wall back over here, so if the spring takes off, I can retrieve it. So I'm going to pull the spring down and pull this rod up and out like that. I'm going to slide that out, and we'll pull that out, and you can see that part slotted. So we'll set those aside, and I've already kind of wiped this down. So first I think I'm going to take this out. There's no pins holding this in, but I'm going to take one of my punches, and you got to push this spring back, but you got to kind of catch it. And then you flip that up like that, and then it just comes out. And there it is. And then we'll pull this out. And the spring. So that part's pretty easy. Remember how the orientation of the, I guess this is the extractor. And then that pin, I want it to go in the same way. It came out like that. So I'm going to just set those like that. And then there's the spring. And then to get the firing pin out and this lug, you got to pull out this roll pin. And this roll pin, I think somebody has taken it out in the past. If we can get this to focus. Because it looks like it's a little boogered up. But on this side, there's a collar in there. You want your roll punch to go inside there. And this one seems to be a little bit too small, but I think it'll work. And because the firing pin is under spring tension, I'm going to have it aimed towards the wall, but I'm going to have my finger over it. We're going to put our roll punch in there. It comes out pretty easy. I don't want to take it out all the way, just because I don't want to try and get it back in, but the punch is through there, and I think there's pressure on it, and you can see the firing pin move there. I'm going to pull that out, and you see the firing pin comes out, and then there's the spring, and there's a little cutout right there. We'll need to make sure we put that back in correctly. And this lug is still captured a little bit, so I'll see if I can push, and I can't. So we'll just a little bit at a time. There we go. And then there's our lug. And it actually doesn't look too bad inside, at least this area, or in here. Now I did spray some CLP in there and let that soak, so, but we're going to try and clean this up. I'll set the stuff aside, and it's still a bit wet. And I'm out of pipe cleaners. I would normally use a pipe cleaner for this, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It is a slot, so I may be able to get one of my CLP towels in there. And then the firing pin channel, it's pretty big, so I'm going to just kind of clean it out like this. Now I'm going to spray a little bit of CLP on this. Just to kind of get it lubed in there. Like that. And I think that's good. And I'll wipe this down again before we put things back together. Grab one of our Otis wipes. Just going to wipe this stuff down. It's the firing pin. Lug. I'm not stretching these springs, I'm just kind of wiping them down. Okay. Let's see if we can clean this area right here. There's some wear under here. Okay. For reassembly, I'm just going to wipe down the outside just so it's a little bit easier to hang on to when I put it back together. Okay, so first I'm going to start with this extractor. So I'm going to put my spring in there, and then we'll put this pin back in there, and I'm putting this up. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. Okay, and then my extractor, this little pointy end goes towards the middle of your thing here, and I'm just going to use friction. I'm going to turn it towards my wall. And this is fiddly, and I'm sorry you can't see it, but you just push it in. Until it falls in place. It should fall into that hole. And I just heard it click. And there it is. It's not going to come out. So we're good there. I'm going to use my tape still. So now, let's put that back on the firing pin. And if you look at the pin, I think that this notch needs to go towards the bottom of the bolt. We'll just put that in there like that. Let's use the handle of one of these. And actually, we need to put this in. So we want it to go this way, fat end down. There's a hole there for the pin, so we'll do that. I want to push that in just enough to catch it. Then we'll put our firing pin in. Put that in like that. And then check. And it is working. And then I'm going to take a larger roll pin punch and just punch that down to where it's even, which is about right there. Test that one more time. Okay. Now we're going to put this back on. Wipe it down. Make sure the channel's wiped down and clean. 22 ammo is pretty dirty, so you just want to make sure it's clean. Okay. So we'll slide this on here like that. This will go through here first. And we'll slide our spring on. You're going to want to hold here. Hold on the end. Pull your spring in, and you can see I'm not quite. You want to get that lined up. push that in like that. And we'll give it a quick wipe down with this. And that's a nice light coat of oil on there. Let's just wipe this down. This doesn't have that little bump on it like an AR-15. It just goes straight in there. See? I'll put that on there like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on safe. Nothing. I'll put it on fire. I'm going to hold that down. Should hear a click, and we do. Put her back on safe. So we're good to go. All right. Now I just want to wipe this down. So there she is, all cleaned up and ready to go. So that's how you disassemble and clean the M&P 1522. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down twice. And please subscribe. It really does help. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.